The first weekend league of EAFC24 is slowly approaching us, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing a few tips that are going to help you get there. Implement these tips and I'm sure you'll have no problem in qualifying. First tip is going to be to use meta players. I know that might seem like a very simple thing, but a lot of the times we want to use players that we enjoy. And I totally get that. And I would like to use a full Portuguese league team with a bunch of Portal players. But unfortunately, if you want to qualify and be competitive in this game, you got to use meta players. What is a meta player? A meta player is a player that is very strong. It doesn't have to be a really high rated player. For instance, this Balde, he's a meta left back because it has high pace, good defending stat, and decent dribbling. You want to have fast defenders, good physical stats. You want to have midfielders who are lengthy, bulky, able to win you the ball. This Chouameni is a great meta CDM and he's not even that expensive. Up front, you want to have lots of pace. You want to have these evolutions. Darwin Núñez, Beto evolution, Werner evolution, is Ansu Fati of course. Use these cards, get these cards. I know it's not original, but they will help you so much in qualifying and feeling like your game is going to improve a lot just by using meta players. Tip number 2 comes onto the tactic side of things. And now it doesn't matter which tactic you use, it comes down to preference. Just because you're going to use a pro player tactic does not mean you're going to play like a pro. Do not think like that. It's important to use those tactics and try to understand them, but tweak them to fit your play style. For example, I run a 4-2-3-1 as of right now. The formation guide is on the YouTube. You guys can check it out if you like. But the most important thing about tactics is that you need to have different types of tactics. Now, I have a 4-2-3-1, another 4-2-3-1, a 4-4-2, and a 4-2-4. You don't have to use these. You could use a 4-3-2-1. You could use a 5-back if you like. Not my preference, a 3 at the back. What I want you to take out of this is the following. Have your regular formation, which is your default, you go straight into to feel out the game. Let's say you go down early. You want to maybe change your formation, change it to something else, something similar, but a 4-4-2, 2 strikers up top maybe could help you. A 4-3-2-1 could be great in this instance. Let's say you're chasing the game and it's like in the 75th minute. You want to have a constant pressure formation so you can get all your players forward, because in Fut Champs it doesn't matter if you lose 1-0 or 3-0. Going constant pressure, applying some higher pressure on the pitch can help you win the ball back and maybe create some chances. And then let's say it's the 75th minute, but now you're winning by a couple goals or have a 1-goal lead. Get a drop back, get a defensive formation, set everyone back and defend. Be a rat. It does not matter. At the end of the day, you want to get qualified. You got to do what you got to do. Tip number 3 is the following. Make sure you have Chem Styles on your players. Again, something so simple that can improve how your players perform on the pitch. For defenders, a general idea just to go shadow on him, or else they have a lot of pace. Like I'll just put an anchor on my fullbacks normally. My CDMs, I'll put a shadow on them as well because they're like defenders for me, right? And then my attacking players, I just put hunters if they need some pace, or finishers, or deadeyes, depending on what I want for the card. But make sure you have them on your players. It can make a big difference if you be like, oh my god, every time I play Diaby, he scores against me, but you have your Diaby off chem without a chem style, and maybe that could be the difference between him being good and bad for you. When is the best day to qualify for Fut Champions? In my opinion, Friday is the easiest competition because most people by then have already qualified, and on Friday and over the weekend they're getting you ready to play the games. I would hold off if you can't the Friday. At this stage you might be playing players that are trying to qualify for a second time, lesser players that are still trying to get in there, because by Friday most of the hardcore players will be in, and that could be a little bit easier for yourself. Now let's say you're afraid you're not going to qualify on Friday. What would I do? I would play Monday or Tuesday, see if I can get qualified then. If I can't, then it gives me another couple days to gain some more Rivals points and Fut Champions points to try again later on in the week. Then I will try again on Friday. 20 points is 4 wins and 4 losses, as each win is 4 points and a loss is 1. If you can go 5-0, you can end it early. And the very last tip I would give for you is a gameplay tip. If you get the ball, try to exploit the wings as much as possible. Honestly, this year that is the most important part, is wing play. Get the overloads, the 1-2s down the line, get your player running into the box, square it across a couple times and tap it into the empty net. Shooting has been a little bit dodgy so far for myself. That's how I score most of my goals, and that's how you're going to see a lot of pros trying to do in weekend league. Lastly, if you have the ball and it's like 5 minutes to go, or you're approaching halftime and you don't want to get cheesed, hold on to it, pass it around the back, pass it in the middle, hold on to the ball, make sure your opponent can't get to it and see out the time. It is ratty, but with ratty tactics is how we get better and improve on the game. The more champs runs you'll get through, the more rivals games you play, the more practice you can do. The more you try to implement these tips, the better results you're slowly going to get over time. You got to practice. Practice makes perfect. My last tip for the video is the following. If you are in a losing streak, let's say you lost 2 games in a row, don't go into a third. Take a break, watch a YouTube video, relax a little bit, look at some highlights. Get your mind off the game, because a lot of the time when you're playing bad, you could come up against a bad opponent, but you're in a raging mode and you're going to go into it and your head's not going to be clear and you're going to be making bad passes because you're frustrated, you want to go forward. So take a break, come back in an hour or 2, and again, you should be okay. Obviously, the opposite applies to that as well. Let's say in your 3-game win streak, if you can, keep playing. That means you're playing well. A lot of this game comes down to mentality. If you can control your emotions and not get frustrated at the game, your results will improve greatly, because on the other side, you know he's going to be punching his screen as soon as a bad bounce goes his way or an unlucky goalie concedes. So stay positive, take your time with your games, don't get frustrated as much as you can. And if you guys enjoyed the video and you found these tips helpful, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.